Greetings everyone, I'm Alanah, and today I'm talking about something that a bunch of you probably already know about, not by my choice, that kind of went public a year ago, but at the time I decided not to say anything, mostly for my own safety, and just because I didn't want to make the situation any worse than it already was. There are three reasons why I've decided to talk about this right now. One, on one of my recent videos, someone screenshotted a comment from a guy who was mad at me for having a boyfriend, and it got to the top of nice guys, I think? And I genuinely was mostly just entertained by it. That comment did not bother me at all. And I was so shocked by the amount of responses of people who are disgusted or amazed that these kinds of comments exist, to the extent that I was kind of like, wait, you guys don't know how common this shit is? And that's not even an internet thing, it's an ownership thing. The whole friend zone thing. So that was the first reason, is people were amazed by this thread that I was like, oh, you guys don't know how much this happens or how extreme this gets. Number two was that I've always wanted to share my side of this. People have commented on my posts asking me for my side of this for a long time. Now that it's over a year ago, I don't feel so bad about it. And then the third reason is actually because of the Me Too social media campaign that's been going on at the moment. So this is kind of like spurring from that. It was a situation where I felt like this is a thing that I went through that ended up being awkward in public, that people don't realize has happened to a lot of people. So about 2 years ago, this guy started commenting regularly on my social feeds. I cannot pinpoint the time when that happened because I don't remember, and there's a lot of people who do that. He started to comment regularly enough that I would recognize his name, which, for the record, was always Bruce Wayne on social media. He never used his real name when talking to me. I never had any idea who he was, he never had real profiles, it was always a person going by a fake name with a penguin as their profile picture. So it was someone that I never had any way of identifying, and I still, for anyone who has asked me, do not know his name, do not have any contact with him, don't know where he lives or what his number is. People have been like, hey, you should check up on him, like, you should make sure he's okay. I don't have any way of contacting him at all. So he was just a guy who would comment on my social feeds regularly, and I didn't really think anything of it. I guess it started happening more and more often, and he was always, I guess, nice, just a little overbearing. And as has happened with several people that I've been in this situation with, it'll eventually get to a point where I'll be like, hey, your comments are a little too intense. They never react well to that. I can be like, hey, you're a little bit over the top with how affectionate you're being towards me, and it's making me uncomfortable, and they will always go full 180 and hate me intensely and dedicate their social feeds to how much they hate me, because I've tried as politely as possible to be like, you're weirding me out. This sucks. This didn't happen with him. I told him to calm down and he would be really offended and then just completely ignore it. But he didn't ever hard 180 on me or dedicate his accounts to how much he hated me. So it's like I'd already built up a profile of this guy and was aware of what he was saying, and he was towing a line where I was like, this is getting a little uncomfortable, and I slowly started to block him off my social media, kind of one by one, based on stuff he was saying. But the thing that officially crossed the line and made me block him off of Facebook, which is the place where he was most active in talking to me, I think outside of YouTube, was that I got my eyebrows tattooed and I shared that on Snapchat. For context, basically what that means is that my eyebrows are real. I did not get my eyebrows shaved off. I have it's called microblading. Pretty common practice. Wasn't a huge deal to me, but he ended up going on IGN videos, which is the company that I work for, and if people would say something nice about me, he would reply to them and be like, she got her eyebrows tattooed. Basically, he was incredibly angry that someone he had put on an unrealistic pedestal had done something to themselves that he didn't like. And that was the point where I was like, hold up, at this point you are policing what I can do to my body, and you are angry when I do something you don't like. I don't even know your goddamn name. So that was the point that I was like, this is too possessive and too controlling and too overbearing, so I ultimately deleted him or blocked him from everything. He still commented on some of my work videos, and I couldn't really stop him from doing that, so I had one of my co-workers reply to him and say, hey, Alanah doesn't want you to contact her anymore, please consider this a warning, or whatever. He made another Facebook account trying to convince me to unban him, and I ignored it and banned him again. So it was just like a thing where I was like, this needs to stop, this is not good. So as a response to that, he made Reddit threads about me. One of them was effectively asking if he could get in trouble for stalking if he made more accounts under more fake names. He was legitimately asking people for advice on like, hey, how close can I get to stalking her without legally getting into any trouble? He sent letters to my workplace. He also said that he was planning to call the front desk at IGN and have them transfer to me, to the phone on my desk, so we got rid of the phone on my desk, so that wasn't an option. And there was also a threat regarding E3 that year in 2016, so I had two just giant, terrifying looking security guards walking around with me for the entirety of last year's E3, just to make sure that nothing weird happened. So I found out about these Reddit threads because someone on Reddit reported it to IGN security, and IGN did try to get Reddit to take the threads down so that people would stop talking to me about it and stop linking it and sharing it. Reddit said no, which I understand, but it should also be mentioned that he posted 5. He posted 5 threads about the same thing. So the thing that really gets me is the stuff that he commented on Reddit, the stuff that he said to people, which he never said to me. I had no way of knowing any of this. One of them was like, thanks for the advice, but I'm going to keep sending her letters, which I guess is a response to a person saying, don't do this. And he said, the guy on the movie The Notebook sent like 365 letters to that girl. I feel like if I send them for long enough, she will realize how much I care about her. And maybe she will be friends with me then. He also references Game of Thrones at one point. He's like, in Game of Thrones, Daenerys banishes Jorah twice, and he came back both times to win her back. That's how I feel about her. Eventually she will see this and unban me. And I just really want to say, to anyone who might be watching this who doesn't understand this, and I'm trying to say it in the politest way possible because I get that people don't understand these things and we shouldn't necessarily ridicule them for it. If you are making someone uncomfortable, and it's clear that you've made them uncomfortable because they banned you, you are effectively intimidating someone by just repeatedly doing a thing that they don't like. And I really think movies have taught people that this works, that if you don't give up on trying to get the girl to like you, she will eventually give in. That's gross. That's not how that works. Don't do that. So then when he made the Reddit post specifically about if you could stalk me on Facebook, people said this is probably illegal in the state of California, and he said it should be illegal for her to block me like that. She will make people kill themselves being that mean. That should be illegal. And that's where people got most mad at me. People treated me like I had done the wrong thing, but what would you have done? What do you do in this circumstance? Trust me, when you tell people that they're making you uncomfortable, that's when they start sending you death threats. That's when you see an entire Instagram feed that is dedicated to them hating you, screenshots of your face, slathered in swear words. It just doesn't work. So then after that, I guess, all of this discussion with people on Reddit asking this guy to get help and to not make another account was when people told him that I had a boyfriend. He kept saying stuff like, no, she's single, this is a lie, this guy is making this up. I guess this was back when we were a little bit more private about our relationship, but people were absolutely correct in telling him that I had a boyfriend, and he didn't take that well. What's wrong is when a girl makes you fall in love with them, then completely crushes you by calling you a creep and banning you for no reason, then publicly humiliates you online. That's wrong, not what I did. For context, I never called him a creep. I did not make any effort to publicly humiliate him. I never even spoke about this publicly. He did. That was humiliating for me. So then amidst all of this stuff about me having a boyfriend, he said, how would you feel if your girlfriend found someone else she likes more than you? That's how I feel. And then the last 2 comments are, I'll most likely be dead tonight, so that should make her extremely happy, and then fuck this world. And then he didn't use the account again. I don't know what happened. I don't have any way of knowing what happened. I don't like thinking about it, and I don't know that there's a way that I could approach this differently. And I feel like there is a chance that he ended up making a fake account and still talks to me because I'm an idiot and reply to way too many people on the internet, and I just don't know. And if you are watching this video, please just know that this isn't how relationships work. Relationships aren't one person manipulating the other person, throwing compliments at them, and then the other person loving them. That's not what a relationship is. Stop thinking you're entitled to someone's time because you were nice to them, especially when nice is like the base level of what a human should be. And I really think of all of my experiences with guys who've said that I have friend-zoned them, all of them were people who weren't nice, who referred to themselves as nice guys, when in reality they were clingy and possessive and jealous, and they thought that because they were so overbearing that was kindness, and it's not. I just want people to stop taking that forceful thing that happens in movies and thinking that it happens in real life, because that's how people end up in this situation. That's how girls get shot when doing fan meetups. That's why I feel like I need security every time I go to an event now, which absolutely sucks. That's why I will not walk around a show floor unless I have people with me anymore. I wish I had something more positive or uplifting to say, but this shit happens a lot and it's scary. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope it was, I don't know, insightful in some way. I have to give an extra thanks to everyone who's been supporting me on Patreon when YouTube completely stopped supporting my channel. But on Patreon this week, we are talking about Blade Runner 2049, so check that out. And yeah, thank you to the people whose names are on screen right now. Alrighty, I will see y'all next time. Bye bye!